Alex, 28, a young man with a determined glint in his eye, sits in his wheelchair at the foot of his new, half-finished ramp. A bead of sweat trickles down his temple. His wife, Sarah, 27, a firecracker in a paint-splattered t-shirt, stands next to him, gripping the head of a hammer. They beam at each other, their faces alive with the simple, breathtaking joy of progress. The scent of fresh-cut wood and sawdust hangs in the crisp morning air, a perfume of hope. The ramp is clunky, raw, and utterly beautiful. It's not just wood and screws, it's freedom. It's the final step to a home that feels like home again, a place where he can come and go without the crushing weight of dependency. Suddenly, a shadow falls over them. A sound, a clicking of heels on concrete, cuts through the gentle hum of the neighborhood. It's the kind of sound that promises nothing good. Evelyn, 60s, the HOA president, a woman whose personality is as manicured and brittle as her pristine yard appears, a clipboard clutched in her hand like a weapon. Her lips are a thin, hard line. "What do you think you're doing?" Her voice, sharp and high, slices through the air, making Alex wince. He thought they had followed all the rules, dotted every I and crossed every T. He had submitted the plans, gotten the permits, or so he thought. "We're finishing the ramp, Evelyn," Sarah says, her smile vanishing. "It's for Alex." "A ramp?" Evelyn scoffs, the sound a dry, rustling leaf. She gestures dramatically at the half-completed structure. "This is an eyesore. A blight on our neighborhood's aesthetic." She pronounces the last word with a condescending sneer. "It's a violation of Section 4, subsection C of our community bylaws. No permanent external structures may be constructed without prior written approval from the HOA Architectural Review Board." A cold dread washes over Alex. He remembers getting the email from the board. He thought it was approval. They had been so careful. Evelyn, seeing his face fall, leans in closer. "You never got that approval, did you? You just assumed. TSK, TSK. Typical." She peels a bright orange sticker from her clipboard and slaps it onto the side of the ramp with a resounding thwack. The word "violation" screams in block letters. She stands back, a triumphant smirk on her face. "Consider this a stop work order. If I see a single nail hammered into this monstrosity again, I'll have the city fine you and tear it down myself." She turns on her heel, her footsteps echoing her contempt, and walks away. Alex is left staring at the orange sticker, the vibrant color mocking his shattered hope. He hears a heavy, shaky exhale that he realizes is his own. A deep, bone-weary exhaustion settles in his chest. "Sarah," he whispers, his voice thick with defeat. "What do we do?" Sarah, however, is not defeated. Her face is a mask of pure, white-hot fury. "What do we do? We fight back, that's what we do." Alex's mind, foggy with disappointment, struggles to catch up. He had thought the battle was over, lost to a bureaucratic tyrant. But Sarah, a small dynamo of righteous anger, was already pulling out her phone. "You think you can just come here and trample on our lives, Evelyn? You've got another thing coming." She scrolls through her contacts, a furious little frown on her face. She finds the one she's looking for. "Hey, Ben. It's Sarah. I know it's a long shot, but... You still working as a city inspector?" "Yeah. Listen, we have a major issue here with our HOA and I think they're violating some pretty serious codes." "I know, right? I'll send you everything we have." Alex feels a flicker of warmth in his chest. Ben was a high school buddy, a good guy. Maybe, just maybe, this was the break they needed. A few hours later, with a binder full of city building codes and a grim determination, they stand on the lawn again. This time, Ben, 29, their old friend, is with them. He's a man of quiet authority, his gaze steady and sharp. Evelyn, alerted by some unseen network of neighborhood gossip, returns, but this time she's brought her posse, 2 other HOA board members, one of whom holds a small, yapping dog, and the other, a portly man, huffing with indignation. Evelyn's face is a crimson storm, her cheeks mottled with rage. "You defied my order. I'm calling the police." "You're not calling anyone, Evelyn," Ben says, his voice a low rumble that instantly commands attention. "We are." The 3 HOA members stare, stunned into momentary silence. Evelyn, however, recovers quickly, her voice escalating to a screech. "Who are you? You have no jurisdiction here. This is private property, governed by our bylaws." "This is private property, yes," Ben says calmly. "But it's also a residence within city limits, and it's subject to federal and state law. Specifically, the Fair Housing Act and the Americans with Disabilities Act. Have you ever heard of them?" The air becomes thick with palpable tension. The silence is deafening, punctuated only by the dog's frantic yapping. It's a courtroom drama playing out on a suburban lawn, the stakes Alex's freedom. Evelyn's face pales, but she recovers, her arrogance a shield. "Those don't apply here. This is a simple matter of aesthetics. Your ramp is not approved. It looks cheap." Alex, who had been listening silently, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs, finally speaks up. "I filed the paperwork. I have the emails. I thought you had approved it, Evelyn." "You misunderstood," she spits. "The board reviewed it. We did not approve it." A new sound fills the air, a distinct, deep rumble that is not the yapping dog or the angry whispers of the HOA posse. It's the low, powerful engine of a black SUV turning onto the street. A moment later, a town car, flanked by police cars, pulls up. A hush falls over the entire cul-de-sac. The neighbor, Mr. Henderson, who had been watching from his porch, stands up, a look of profound surprise on his face. The driver's side door opens, and out steps not a police officer, but the mayor himself. He is a portly, kind-faced man, but his expression is now one of steely resolve. A city attorney, a tall woman in a crisp suit, follows him. Evelyn, ever the chameleon, tries to straighten her posture, her shock giving way to an attempt at charm. "Mayor. What a surprise. I was just handling a neighborhood dispute." The mayor ignores her completely, his eyes fixed on Alex and Sarah. He walks directly up to Alex, his hand extended. "Alex, Sarah, I'm so sorry it's come to this. My office received the report, and I came as soon as I could." He shakes Alex's hand, his grip firm and reassuring. Evelyn's face contorts in a mixture of confusion and panic. "Report? What report? This is our business." The mayor turns to her, his gaze finally settling on her, and his voice drops to a low, chilling bass. "Evelyn, this is not your business. This is a federal issue, a city issue, and a human issue. Ben here, he's more than just a city inspector, he's a veteran who worked with a foundation that builds these ramps for soldiers who come home injured. Do you know who his first call was to? Me. I've known his family for years." He pauses, letting the weight of his words settle. "Ben tells me you've been a repeat offender, that your HOA has a history of targeting people with disabilities, and you've been warned multiple times about it. Is that right?" Evelyn, her face a ghastly white, stutters. I was just enforcing the rules. The bylaws." "The bylaws," the mayor says, holding up a large, official-looking document, "are superseded by city code, which is superseded by state and federal law. This," he continues, his voice rising, "is a building order. We are not just giving you permission to build the ramp. We are ordering you to allow it to be built, effective immediately." He hands the document to Ben. "And my team, the very team that builds these for the city, is here to get it done. Right now." The sound of an approaching truck, not Alex's neighbor's, but a larger, professional construction vehicle, pulls up behind the town car. A crew of workers, dressed in official city uniforms, spills out, their tools at the ready. They walk past the stunned HOA members, a collective gasp rippling through them, and begin to unload materials. Evelyn watches them, her jaw hanging slack. Her carefully constructed world of petty rules and absolute power is collapsing right in front of her. She tries to speak, but only a dry, rattling noise escapes her throat. A few neighbors, who had been watching from behind their curtains, now slowly emerge. They offer timid smiles and nods to Alex and Sarah. One of them, an elderly woman who lives across the street, even brings over a tray of lemonade. The mayor looks at Evelyn one last time. This isn't a game, Evelyn. People's lives are not an aesthetic. You've lost your position. The city attorney will be in touch. He turns and walks back to his car, leaving a shattered Evelyn in his wake. The sound of hammers, saws, and cheerful chatter fills the air. The sounds that had been silenced by a single orange sticker are now back, louder and stronger than before. Alex watches the ramp take shape, piece by piece, a testament to resilience and the simple, undeniable power of what's right. Within a few hours, the beautiful, sturdy ramp is complete. Alex rolls to the foot of it, his heart full, and looks at Sarah. The sun, now lower in the sky, bathes them in a warm, golden light. He pushes forward, a small, triumphant effort, and rolls up his own ramp for the very first time. It is not just a structure, it is a monument. A monument to his wife's fierce loyalty, to his friend's quiet strength, and to a community that, in the end, chose compassion over control. It is a monument to the simple truth that sometimes, the rules that matter most are the ones not written in any bylaw. He stops at the top, a gentle, silent sigh of relief escaping his lips. He turns to look at Sarah, and she's there, her eyes shining with tears. He takes her hand, and together, they stand on their own little hill, their home. And for a moment, the world feels completely, wonderfully right. The mayor's intervention was a stunning, powerful blow for justice. But it begs a larger question, doesn't it? When does the duty of an individual to their community's rules end, and the obligation of humanity begin? Was Evelyn simply a rule follower, or was she a bully hiding behind a bureaucratic shield? Where do you draw the line?